So, before we continue on with our train of side quests, we're gonna just take the opportunity to quickly catch up on a couple small things that we've been carrying around.
Well, the usual. An entire pocket full of small animals.
You said we also got the delinquency stone from in the last video, so we should go drop that off in Mirror real quick.
I had completely forgotten about that. On account of, pain.
That is a timed Magnus, by the way. I don't know. When I was testing this, I'm pretty sure that if I went about maybe another minute or so, that would have turned into a pebble. So, thanks, game.
That's quite something.
It was very convenient, is what it was.
Like, you can get another one, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But, it was like, oh, wow. Right after I get out of the dungeon, I have a minute to get this to Mira.
Oh, this looks like it's going well. Like, how is this guy or any of these creatures still alive?
Don't worry about it.
Like, do they even do ice?
I am sure that all of these animals are adapting to the freezing cold exceptionally well.
Like, aren't some of them from the fucking desert?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, if we're sure about it, I guess it's alright.
Anyway, today's quest takes us to the Library of Magic, where the principal has an extremely powerful book that we want to get our hands on.
An entire book? Like, is it just a bunch of Magnus bound together? Like, is it like one of those things you used to keep your Pokemon cards in?
However, we're not allowed to look at the book, because somebody stole the principal's novel that she was reading, and we have to go get it back for her.
Okay. Is the novel also the book? Are they the same volume?
Oh no, this is completely different. This is the adventure novel.
Yeah. I don't know, I think that would have been an acceptable place to take this kind of a plot thread. I mean, think about it. Would have been a perfect opportunity for a little bit of expectation subversion. That's what good video games do, right? You thought I was just being an annoying JRPG side quest character, but actually I was literally sending you to get the book, and there was actually a very good reason you couldn't see it. Because it had literally been stolen. That's writing, right?
Anyway, I guess we could have completely skipped this entire thing by just bringing an adventure novel from Dur, but I said it's just on the other side, so
I guess literally any adventure novel would have worked. I think it doesn't even really matter, it just the idea of an adventure novel.
Anyway, this book is extremely rare and powerful, so we're not allowed to take it with us, but we can look at it as a treat.
Can we, distill its fundamental essence into a Magnus?
Oh no, that would make way too much sense.
Bah.
Instead, we're going to do something much more sensible and go inside it.
Oh, cool. I mean, imagine I'm creating a decent facsimile of the linking sound from Myst at this point. I can't do that, but imagine I could and did. It would have been very funny. So
So we're just kind of dumped in a room. It's got 12 doors, 6 on the left, 6 on the right.
Looks pretty cold. Like, is that supposed to be fog or whatever, or is it just a coincidence that it's blue and foggy and it looks like it's freezing?
I mean, it is Xelha's side quest, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, okay.
Anyway, inside each of these 12 rooms is a dude. And if you don't pick the correct room to move forward, you get forced into a fight.
Neat.
And that's it. That's the entire side. This is the entire quest. There are 3 rooms like this.
So you just choose until you happen to wander into the correct one.
Absolutely.
Cool. Great. Video games. Like, I'm out even of things to say about this kind of design. I think I just kind of checked out after the repetition of the RNG boss battle.
What, you mean you don't have anything else to add about literal RNG, like the dungeon design now?
I mean, I've got this at least. Is it actually random?
It is not. It is not random, as with basically everything in this game. It is set.
It's just you don't know, so it might as well be random if you haven't looked it up.
Yup.
Is the ancient crest of the Icelands.
Good times.
The
Good
illusion
times.
spell and binding spell protecting it are of the most powerful magic. A magic only known by the royal family of Wazen.
Oh man, it sure is a good thing that we have a member of the royal family of Wazen with us.
But what's it doing in Anue?
This sounds suspiciously like intrigue. And plot.
Mother, what did you want to tell me?
Listen carefully, Xelha. I am sure you have understood this to some extent, but I'll repeat myself. The
Since it's a
Queen of
flashback
these
and all.
lands has a very important duty to fulfill. You, who will be the next queen, may be required to leave these lands, to travel the outside world, to deal with the seeds of disaster which may threaten the ways of our world.
Yes, Mother.
If Barnett ever foresees such a change in the world, remember, first of all, to send Codell, Glamis, and Katrin to Anue. Have them send you reports on the happenings of the world. Anue seems to have had connections with Wazen in ancient times. They will have less trouble using their magic there. Then, if you should ever be convinced that evil will befall the world, you should set off immediately. Determine what you can do to alleviate the damage, to ease the world's hurt. That is the oath our line is sworn at birth to uphold. Do you understand, Xelha?
I would give
Yes,
anything for like just 1 minute to have interviewed the voice actress for this immediately after recording all that.
Xelha? Xelha, are you alright?
Where are we?
I don't know. The door opened, a light flashed, and here we are.
Pretty sure we're in some kind of contrived JRPG side quest dungeon,
The door
but
sent
you
us
know.
someplace else. I guess we'll have to look
Also the
around.
inside of a book. Did we mention that?
Not just any book. This is the illusory fortress of the book, Fadul. Please.
I'm sorry. Well, of course there's a side quest guy in here. I don't know why I didn't expect that.
Well, this one was at least sort of foreshadowed. I forget who, but one of the people you can talk to says that their dad like disappeared one day and they have no idea how.
Oh, yeah, that's clearly an obvious hint. Like, you might as well have just said that he disappeared into a book. Well, whatever. Like, seriously, I've nothing further to observe about any of this.
Well, I mean, what is there to say, truly? I mean, this is the most incredible dungeon design that we've seen this side of the pure spite that is the Tower of Zosma.
Like, that was interesting, at least. Like, there was an attempt at something there. Possibly an egregious failure? I don't know, but... like, there was something to that place.
The time has almost come. The prophecy may be fulfilled during my reign. If so, you will be blessed with a normal life, as any other young girl would. Xelha, how I hope it will be so.
Mother.
At least Xelha's child portrait is like
It will be
actually kind of convincing.
You will have to bear the burden.
Like it's a lot better than Callus's child portrait.
Our line is bound
That's true.
to this responsibility.
That is true.
Yes, Mother. Please don't worry. I'm your daughter.
It is, however, extremely funny that they literally just shrunk her model by like 50%.
I will protect the ocean. And
That is also funny.
if the time comes for the world to be reborn, I will return the ocean to the people.
The voice acting is also very funny. I believe I may have alluded to that before.
Let's move on.
I like to imagine that Gibari also saw these flashbacks and is like, can we just get this over with?
He also is not wrong. Like, he clearly knows the deal here.
Oh, not again. I hate deja vu.
Thanks, Gallus.
I don't think deja vu is what's going on here, Callus, but...
Book of Magic as bait to see if I'm really ready.
No, it's like they're being charmingly self-aware and calling attention to the repetitive nature of their side quest dungeon.
Decided to stop Melodia Malpertio long ago.
That's funny, right? That's when you do that, that's funny, and the player laughs with you and forgives you for whatever egregious bullshit that you're doing. That's how this works.
Barnett tells me the time of the prophecy is drawing near. Something somewhere is awakening after 1,000 years of sleep. The time may be here for the last of the Ice Queens to fulfill her destiny. Whether it be you or I, should the prophecy be fulfilled, the Ice Queen will be no more. It will be our final prayer to the world, our final blessing.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of the snowman.
Xelha, you must.
So I'm pretty sure that snowman still exists to this day in that corner.
Never back down.
I mean,
Never
makes sense.
fail.
This doesn't look like the kind of place where anything ever melts.
The ocean will always be with you, and we will always be walking alongside.
Well, time to segue into a boss fight for some reason, I guess.
Is this it?
The ancient and forbidden book of magic.
Powerful energy be coming out of this book. Something be sealed inside.
Are you gonna unleash it? You sure that's such a bright idea, Xelha?
I promised my mother that I'd never back down, never fear. That I'd stride forward with my head up.
Well, this can't possibly go wrong.
Huh?
Greetings. Are you the last of the Ice Queens?
Yes, most likely.
Has the time come? Then let us begin. 1,000 years ago, a seed of hope was sown by our hand. Let us witness the fruit it has borne.
Like, does anyone involved with this just not sound like they're phoning it in?
I mean, to be fair, if you were told that you were going to be part of a side quest in which we walked around a nondescript dungeon and mostly consisted of flashbacks, you also would be phoning it the fuck in.
I guess.
Anyway, this is, ostensibly a boss?
Uh-huh.
Chronos flow!
Does the boss ostensibly do anything?
I mean, it's supposed to do things. But that's about all I can tell you because, it lasts about 5 turns.
Sword style.
5 turns and it doesn't get to do anything? I mean, okay.
I mean, it does a decent chunk of Chronos damage. That's not nothing.
It's trying. There is an attempt.
It also features an attack which, so it has it has 2 special attacks, one of which is it's basically this unblockable fuck you, here's 1800 damage move because it has absolutely no wind-up time and it's the first thing it uses.
Okay, cool. I guess it's one of those fights then. Like I think every JRPG has to have one of those fights where it's just like an enormous wind-up, and there's just nothing happens, and then after a little bit of time, you just immediately fall over and die. You know, the Bahamut strategy. I'm pretty sure that's the law.
But yeah, so like I said, he has this ability which does, like I said, it's a shit ton of damage, and he does it with no warning, and that's it. You just eat 1800 damage because there's no fucking way that you were gonna hit an armor card in time for that.
I mean, I guess on the other hand, you have like enough health to just eat that. So if that's all he has, then like that's still not really very much of any kind of a thing.
The other thing that he ostensibly has is this. This steals HP. That's all it does.
Huh. I mean, that's a little bit rude.
If you don't have a good block going, that could be like what, 1500 HP maybe? But that's The problem is that's not really a lot of HP at this point, all things considered. Like, Gabari did more than that with just fucking 3 random pairs.
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing for this. I mean, from the description of the first attack, it sounds like it's supposed to be that kind of a the Bahamut Gambit where you just need to kill it as fast as possible before you have to eat too much of its bullshit. And that's a valid strategy for a JRPG to pull, like, once. I guess it just never really goes anywhere this time around.
But yeah, for reference, the edit point in that was like literally 2 minutes. That was it.
The world.
I think I actually
is in
added
your
more
hands.
footage than I cut because I had to show the other special.
Good
I
times.
will. Your will and your hope reside in me now, last of the Ice Queens.
So this whole thing was just a budget running out, right? There was supposed to be an actual dungeon in here, right? Rather than just a couple of backdrops and some logic.
Logic is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Admitted.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume so, but who can say?